The federal government is set to increase the supply of gas to power plants across the country to improve power supply. According to the Minister of Power, Chinedu Nebo, when this is done, it will boost investors' confidence in the sector. The minister, who represented Vice President Namadi Sambo at the inauguration of the National Council of Power, assured Nigerians of better days ahead. Pius Sambo has the report.
The idea to inaugurate the National Council on Power came up in 2008, but today it has come to reality. The council is saddled with the responsibility of coming up with workable plans that will enhance the participation of investors in the sector. To achieve this, the government has made provision for over 4 billion naira to boost power supply in the country.
Suffice it to say that within the shortest possible time, Nigeria has now been placed on the path of guaranteeing sustainable power supply. Against all odds and the myriad of problems which for decades had downplayed the sector, we are now poised to allow the power sector play its enabling role on the fulcrum of our country's march toward economic greatness and sustained social well-being.
Uninterrupted power supply is what will make the difference to Nigerians, no matter how much money is invested. But investors are keen on pumping more funds into the sector.
In the last few days, you have discussed and you've heard the transition of the national power project in Nigeria to the private sector intervention. Phase one of it was getting people involved in managing the assets of PACN. And by investment of about $3.1 billion, as of November 1, these private sector people have put their stake in the Nigerian project of power. And second to that is the NIPP project of 10 new power plants, unprecedented anywhere else in the world, where government has built 10 power plants and have loaded it to the power sector. And the price tag is $5.8 billion US. And we're in the process of closing that transaction.
For now, we used to have campaigns where people go and campaign and say, we're going to provide roads, we're going to provide water, we're going to provide all other essentials, but never did we hear electricity. It was left for the president alone, and indeed the presidency to always say, we'll work on electricity. Now with this council in place, I'm sure that we'll begin to hear that we can provide electricity, we'll provide electricity for our people, and with all hands on deck, I'm sure that the provision of electricity will be a thing of the past.
The key players in the power sector believe that there is no better time than now to light up Nigeria.
In the power sector, it has to be cooperative federalism in such a way that the center, represented by the very efficient and powerful Ministry of Power, giving the directions, are going to be cooperating fully with the state ministries and the state agencies involved in the power sector, so that there will be a national cooperative network of power production, power distribution in such a way, as the minister said, by the grace of God, there will be light for the people of Nigeria.
As the power reforms continue to gather steam, Nigerians can only hope that there will be adequate gas supply that will translate to a 24-hour power supply. Pius Samuel, Core TV News, Abuja.